I either read or heard this somewhere years ago, and I have kept this story with me as a form of inspiration. A very famous actress, you may have heard of her, Jennifer Aniston, once said that when she was just starting out in her career, she didn't even consider herself to be an actress. She considered herself to be a professional auditioner and a waitress because that's all she would ever do. She would never get a part. She would just go out, wait tables to earn money, and then go and audition for parts and never get anything. So she was training to become an actress, but she really wasn't one at that time. And I have to be honest with you, I kind of feel that way as I'm starting off my real estate agent career. I have my license now, but I'm more of an ISA because according to the thumbnail that you just saw before you clicked on this video, I am spending about 95% of my time lead generating on the phones, calling. And then about 5% actually running around dressed up, going to open houses or showing property. It's all about lead gen now. And I know it's going to be about lead gen years down the road, but it is really about lead gen now as I'm trying to ramp up my business. Of the handful of transactions that I've done so far, 99% have come through the phone. One client is somebody that I met on a showing, and that's it. Everyone else is coming through the phone. And with that, I wanted to share with my calling numbers for the month of June. I would still consider myself to be a part-time agent at this point. I'm not able to put in at least 40 hours a week doing real estate for various reasons, but I have definitely improved my calling schedule for this year, and I really went hard in June. I wanted to share those numbers with you. So for the month of June, I had 1,501 dials. I only had 2 appointments out of all of those dials. I was going through a lot of old data. I do that a lot. And then I had 2 appointments. I had 23 valid conversations and I had 70 contacts. So what's the difference between the two? Contacts is just when somebody picks up the phone and it's the person that might be, well, it's not a wrong number. It's generally the person you're trying to reach, and either they don't want to hire you or maybe they've sold a place or whatever. So that's a contact. A valid conversation is somebody that you are lowering in your funnel. They're lowering down to hopefully become a client one day. So I've had 23 valid conversations, and I've made notations as to when these sellers will be ready to sell. So they're far off in the distance, maybe 6 months, maybe a year or so, but I've got them on my tracker now, so I'm keeping an eye on them. I really worked hard, and I'm very, very proud of myself because really, when it comes down to it, the only thing that we can control is our dials. And I produced in the month of June. And I know that come January, February, March, April next year, I'm going to be happy that I was working really hard this month. Getting back to the thumbnail that you clicked on, the 95% of lead gen versus 5% of actually being an agent, that's where I'm at right now. Where are you all at? I'd love to hear in the comments down below. I'm wearing my flannel shirt or my t-shirt and my slippers and no makeup, and I'm out there trying to shake the tree and trying to get clients, chasing business. And about 5% of my time is actually working with clients, dressed up and all that. For years, I watched Million Dollar Listing LA and Million Dollar Listing New York, and I love those shows. Those agents are rock stars. They're out selling these super expensive properties. They've got these fancy cars. They're dressed beautifully. What we all aspire to in terms of a business school, right? Because they are earning a lot of money and they've got a lot of steady clients. Most of them are probably referrals, but they're also on very elevated platforms. They have great exposure. Most of us are not where they are, especially if you're a beginner agent. And it can be kind of like, oh geez, I'm not producing like Josh Altman or Ryan Serhant. Back in the day when they first started, they were like where we are right now, and I always remind myself that. So I want you to be mindful of that as well. As long as you're out there and you're focusing on your lead gen, you're going to get there one day. I'm going to get there one day. We're going to be successful. But right now, just focus on what you can control, which is your dials and your outreach to clients. And if you're wearing more flannel than you are fancy suits, that's okay. you're doing the right thing. Don't neglect your dials. Don't neglect your lead gen. Farming is going to produce a bountiful harvest in the spring next year, but I've got to do the work now. And I'm spending about 2 to 3 hours, or at least in June, 2 to 3 hours on the phone per day. I don't think I'll be able to spend as much time in July for different reasons, but I am going to be calling every single day, at least 5 days a week. Dials are a priority to me, and I want them to be a priority to you. And this video was all about inspiring you, hopefully, and letting you know that even someone like Jennifer Aniston, her goal was to be an actress in the very beginning, but she was just a waitress and a professional auditioner. So if you're like me and you're just a professional cold caller right now, that's okay. We are going to get there one day. Just keep dialing.